Early dawn light washes the old wooden cabin in soft gray. Outside, rain falls steadily in a gentle patter, soaking the mossy hill and soaking into the earth. Noah stands for a moment on the porch, feeling the damp breeze and listening to the steady song of raindrops on the roof. He is quiet and contemplative as he breathes deeply. The morning air tastes of wet pine and distant fog. In this isolated place, the only sound besides the rain is his own slow footsteps on the porch boards, each step echoing in the mist. Even as the day begins, there is a subtle magic here in the quiet countryside. A promise in the mist, perhaps a whisper of something unseen. Inside the cabin, the fireplace is cold and lonely. Noah lights a small kerosene lamp, and its warm glow flickers across the dark wooden walls. Pictures of a woman and child hang over the rough plank table, the only bright things in the dim room. He moves slowly, stoking the coals, clearing ashes, setting the table. Each motion is performed with care but without urgency, as if preserving a gentle routine is a quiet rebellion against despair. Every small task, chopping a bit of firewood, folding a wool blanket, wiping the tabletop clean, is done as if for someone special, even though no one's here to see. Noah's heart aches softly with longing, but he finds a strange comfort in these chores, as if through them he can still feel connected to the warmth of love. He pours a tin mug of warm tea and steps to the window, watching the rain blur the world outside. In the glass, his face is reflected among streaks of raindrops. For a moment, he closes his eyes and imagines they are hers, the face of the woman he loves. Every sip of tea tastes bittersweet, warming him yet reminding him of absence. The rain beyond the window seems to echo his own quiet sorrow, its constant drumming a lullaby for the lonely heart. The lamp's glow reveals painted pictures of mountains and meadows from happier days. Noah moves through the cabin with deliberate calm, wiping the dust from a shelf and stacking a few beloved books. He carefully prepares a simple breakfast of oat porridge, adding a spoonful of wildflower honey. With each act, he murmurs gentle encouragement to himself, or perhaps as if telling her how he will nourish her when she returns. The kitchen smells of warm oats and chamomile. These small comforts are like promises kept. Outside, the rain lightens to a soft drizzle, and Noah steps back to let a shaft of gray morning light filter in. He carries a tray to an old rocking chair by the hearth and settles in, cradling the mug of tea. On the table lies a neat stack of letters tied with ribbon. Letters he has written but not yet mailed, or sometimes letters he reads again and again. His hand reaches out to gently touch the ribbon, as if feeling her presence in its texture. Each letter is filled with tender words, all unsent and spoken only in hushed thoughts. As he rocks back and forth, he remembers her laughter by the river and the way her hand felt in his. The lamplight shadows dance on the walls with the rhythm of his rocking, as if the house itself sways to the melody of memories. Noah glances at the window and notices a curious sight. A single blue butterfly clinging to the glass in the cold light. Its wings are glistening with raindrops, delicate and bright against the green-black forest beyond. He blinks, and it is gone. Maybe it was just a trick of the mist, a hallucination coaxed from sadness. But for one fleeting second, in the shape of that small butterfly, Noah felt something magical, as if even the rain sent him a reminder of hope, of the bright wings of a soul flying home. He holds that image in his heart as he takes another slow sip of tea and prepares to start the day's work. Rain continues to fall throughout the morning. At midday, Noah ventures outside to check on the rain barrels and the small garden. The forest path is slippery with mud. He moves carefully, leaning on his sturdy wooden staff. The trees stand tall and dripping, their branches heavy with water. Mist curls around the trunks and drifts in silver waves along the ground. The air smells of wet earth and pine needles. While he gathers rainwater from the barrel, to be used sparingly for tea later, Noah hums a quiet tune they both once sang, a lullaby for better times. By the cabin wall, a cluster of lanterns hangs unused. A few flicker to life on their own accord, tiny sparks in the gray afternoon. Noah notices this and smiles softly. The rain lanterns always lit themselves if the air got too cold, as if guided by invisible hands. Overhead, the sky is a single sheet of cloud, light gray and comforting. Suddenly, Noah hears a faint sound in the distance, the echo of a piano note drifting through the trees. He stops and listens. The note is soft, lonely, then fades as quickly as it came. He wonders if he imagines it, or if the wind somehow remembered the tune they played together on summer nights. He lets the mystery sit quietly in the damp air, feeling not afraid, but strangely comforted by the idea of a melody reaching him through the rain. Back inside the cabin, Noah tends to a small herb garden on the window ledge. Each plant is in a tin can. They are not much, but they survive the chill. He waters them gently, thinking, "These green things breathe despite the cold," just as he tries to do each day. Between sips of rainwater tea, he sketches in a leather-bound notebook, whimsical drawings of the cabin amid storms, of umbrellas that sprout wings, of a small boat floating above the clouds. In each drawing, there is always a hand reaching out, waiting or calling. The charcoal lines on the paper feel like a magic trick. He summons hope onto the page with each stroke. Noah later lights a small fire as evening approaches, and the cabin fills with a soft amber glow. Rain streaks the window panes, casting patterns of light and shadow on the floor. He burns a candle and reads an old, worn storybook to himself, the pages smooth from years of reading by two people. Evenings in the storm become ritual. Page by page, word by word, he voices the tales they once shared before sleep. The rain outside is the steady backdrop, a quiet choir that harmonizes with his gentle narration. Night deepens. The rain now falls in earnest, hitting the cabin with a rhythmic, soothing patter. Noah sits near the hearth, wrapped in a thick blanket. In the flickering firelight, his eyes look distant but calm. He closes the book and listens. The storm is a lullaby. The winds moan a distant voice. He speaks softly into the darkness as if saying good night. The house, filled with shadows and candlelight, feels like an old friend listening to his quiet prayers. Suddenly, the lamp on the wall shifts on its own. Noah jolts, but then slowly smiles. It has done so many times before to keep him company. Tonight, the lamp throws a heart-shaped glow on the wall, just as the storm's clouds seem to part slightly above, letting a single star flicker through. For a heartbeat, the room is alive with warmth and comfort. It is a small miracle of the night. Just a lamp and a star, But for Noah, it is enough to know that light persists even in darkest rain. When the storm subsides in the pre-dawn hours, Noah is already awake. The rain has softened to a light drizzle, and now to gentle mist. He opens the front door and steps onto the porch. The landscape is glistening. Droplets hang from the trees like crystals. Everything looks washed clean under the pale morning light. Noah raises his face to the sky as the first pale sunbeam breaks through clouds. The warm light on his skin feels like a soft hug. On the porch table lies a small brown envelope that he does not remember placing there. Surprised, he picks it up with trembling fingers. Inside is a single letter, in soft purple ink, a letter from her. She writes that the storms have ended where she is, and she will journey home soon. She talks of how the rain reminded her of him, of how every drop feels like a promise that they will be together again. Noah's heart swells, and he feels the quiet tears he's held back finally come. Not of sorrow, but of relief. Outside, a gentle rain still falls, but now each drop feels like a blessing. Noah reads the letter until the words blur with joy. He realizes in this moment that all he's done, the chores, the waiting, the enduring of lonely days, has been for a love as real as the sky. Every carefully completed task and whispered hope was for her. The fog lifts from the valley below. Sunlight spreads over the hills. Noah shuts the door gently, cradling the letter close to his heart. He climbs the stairs to his bedroom for a few more hours of rest. As he lies down, the rain outside becomes soft music again. And for the first time in a long while, it feels like a true lullaby of home.